There's somebody early in the line, so let me take that call and see. Good morning, New Times. Good morning, you are live, New Times. Hello. Good morning, New Times. Okay, I guess that person probably don't want to speak to us. I don't know what's happening there, but the call was there. All right. In terms of program update, we don't think we'll have a guest in today. Both Senator John and Brother Conroy otherwise engaged today. I don't think they'll be free in time. If they are, we will have them in the latter part of the program. So it's us today, and as usual on a Thursday when we don't have a guest, I'll give you that amount of leeway. But I have some things I wanna bring to you. I had promised yesterday I want to pay back the entire presentation from Jomo Thomas and the CBI. I think I want to give you that back. And I want to say, we speak about the country, we speak about certain politicians, we talk about people all in it for themselves. We have seen the arrogance and the disrespect or disregard or whatever you want to use for people, for the citizens by members of this present administration. We heard Chemical Kid the other day speaking about the situation in South Leeward, where he said that the Attorney General, that's what he said, I haven't heard any dispute to that statement, came with some other persons about a situation with taking back lumber and galvanize. And one of the things is that this person is a earmark, according to what school children say, to run in South Windward. And this is not the first time, but some elements of his behavior spark of disregard for people and a kind of arrogant dictatorship kind of attitude, power, wielding of power. And this person is not elected, is not elected, hoping to get elected, just like one vote callers. But their demeanor and the way they interact with the public is as if they were kings and lords. And persons must look up to them while they look down on people, and they're wielding power and authority. And there's a saying, when they have power and authority, they don't care a damn about anybody else. They don't care a damn. And this morning I listening again, and another incident with the driver that was moving equipment, and he again said that the person involved was the Attorney General. I wasn't there, but the person who was there said it was him. I haven't heard any denial of by the Attorney General that he was not the person. But from sometimes he's Attorney General, sometimes he's a political activist, then he's a community activist. I don't know what community activist, what community work he does, more than ask for votes. If there in other work he does, well, I probably need to publish it because I don't know. Never heard of him being any community activist. But he suddenly become an activist. Then when it's ready, appropriate, he becomes the Attorney General. And when another time, he not only the Attorney General, but the wielding power and authority. And I really should look for that in a chat. When they have power and authority, because it's really amazing the kind of things these people not elected, and not elected. And they're supposed to be what they say, the new breed coming in. If what we have here is not evil enough, are we going to have a new breed that is going to come in wielding, wielding power and authority? Then we badly off. We badly off. So I'm going to give you that. Then I'm going to just remind you, and then I'll go and play back something from extraction from At 97 this morning program, in which the driver of the vehicle was relating an event. And this show you, when I talk about the DNA of the New Democratic Party, as opposed to the DNA of the cult organization, the ULP, it's a marked difference. We have people who have served the community, community minded, and are there, and we have compared that with persons who feel they have a divine right or inheritance to power and to lord it over the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we say no.
Power rules the world today. Power corrupts, they say. And absolute power corrupts you. Absolutely. It can change a man who has a heart of gold, make him cruel, wicked, self-centered and cold. Many men in this land, many organizations fought for freedom and justice throughout the land. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about nobody. Prostituting the island to all and sundry, they peddling my people's right, exploiting, oppressing, less freedom, more suffering. I wonder how we survive. Think it over.
So we got to think it over, and we have to be aware of these kind of people. We cannot give them any more power than the wheeling without actually having the power. Power belongs to the people, but they think no differently. And when you look back at all those, if you go and you look at some of those old time movies based and when they had kingdoms and emperors and empress and that kind of thing, and they had the elites and the commoners. That's the impression you get from these guys now, that they are the elite. They have all the brains, they make all the decisions, they never wrong. They have an entitlement to fill the pockets, while the poor people must suffer, and every now and again, they pass out a little thing to them. Okay, let's give them a little $100 here, a little $200 there, keep them for the next 3 years. While they continue to do menial work for us for little pay. We have to put a change to that. So I'm going to play back this and you listen, because we have to expose them for what they really are, For what they really are. They do not have the love or respect for people. They wield power as if it is a divine gift to them to lord over the people of St. Vincent Grenadines. Election is here soon. Have to be held by next year. They want to bring it this year, better for us. But it have to be held by next year. And we have to be prepared, get registered, monitor the process, see who live in your area, who not live in your area, who's not supposed to be registered there. But the fundamental thing at the end of the day is that we have to go out in numbers. Don't say Friday don't win, or Major don't win, or whoever don't win, or Chevron. No, you have to go out. Every vote counts. The American election or the election shows that. Don't take things for granted. And the responsibility lies with everyone to go make sure your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, that they go out and vote this government out. You have that responsibility. Don't leave it up to the politicians, because you see this election is not about the politicians, This election is about St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and getting rid of those persons in authority now who spit on us literally every day. They don't care. They drive up in expensive vehicles and they do what they want and they slight us. Come election day or coming close to election, they'll come wrong, and all of a sudden, all of us become important once more. We're going to be important once more. That is the time you're going to see them coming Oh, you want job? We have job for you. Your children want scholarship? We have scholarship for you. Don't worry, we're going to fix the back wall. Let me put you on set program. Let me put you on yes program. Let me get you road work. We will take care of you. Don't bother them. Same old, same old. They abuse, mistreat, mishandle, take you for granted for 5 years. An election come and all of a sudden they love you. A leopard don't change the spot. Must let to change it overnight. They don't. They don't care. They don't give a damn about nobody. The way they move, you could see that. You have situations where each of these elected members on the government side have refused and have made it plain they do not want constituency development fund. They do not want money for them to spend in the constituency. They leave it to one man. And when we have disaster, they want to shout a love box, say, take a picture, you're grinning. You're suffering. Man taking picture of you grinning. What is it grin for? All skin teeth in a grin. What is the grin for? You're suffering, you don't have anything, but you're grinning. Taking out pictures. Photo up. Oh, I'm shaking a hand here, I'm lifting up a baby here, hugging up two school children here. But the parents for those same school children can't afford the books to go to school because the book loan scheme, they squash it, they kill it off. The registration fees to go into school, exorbitant. The New Democratic Party say we will look into that to ensure that each and every student and each and every parent that want the child to go into secondary school will not be burdened with all these costs for registration, costs for timetable, costs, a whole heap of costs. I don't know what they be. And they add it up. Up on that, you have the hundreds of dollars for the books, plus uniform, plus game uniform, plus shoe, plus this for that and that for that. But they come in and hugging you up and grin. When they destroy the book loan scheme so your children can't get books, you don't have to go and beg from the people overseas to send money so you could buy books. And when your children pass, there are situations in St. Vincent where people pass to go secondary school. And make it worse if it's more than one sibling, they can't go, the two of them can't go because the parents can't afford to send them both. They don't give a damn about anybody. They,
The social rich are freed, exploiting, oppressing, less freedom, more suffering. A poor man's life is really hard indeed. Think it over, my friend. Think it over. Carefully again.
They come saying they love you. They don't love you. They need your election day. And after election day, the phone numbers change. Or, another thing they have a habit of doing now, they have more than one phone numbers. They have the phone numbers they give to send the fool another mile down the road. So they have a phone number they'll give you that rings, but they never answer it. Or you're always busy, or you're always this. Remember the case where somebody said they stand up by the Central Market and call one of them. And they tell any person, oh, I out overseas on government business. When I get back, I will handle that. And the person watching them, on the phone, telling the person they overseas on government business. When they get back, they go handle it. Have faith in them. Have faith in my foot. We have to get together and we have to clean them out. There are people going there now. There are people going there with next to nothing. And obviously, if you're in government and you're working, you're supposed to enhance yourself. You're supposed to uplift yourself. But you can't go for a bank account and read $2 million overnight on a salary, an honest salary in St. Vincent. No, it don't work. Say then win the lotto. You won election And to a lot of you, that is the lotto. The election is the lotto because you're going to rape this country blind. Can't work. Cannot work. And I play you the clip and I come into that. Good morning, Newtimes.
Good morning, Bud. Good morning to all the listeners. But I want to raise a concern, and it's about the young people who starting or recovering from a bad stretch. They had a bank account with Bank of Invention. They was working, money going in the account, and then they wasn't working for a period of time. You get back a job now. Your company say they need a bank account to pay it through. Send your first week pay, little 200 and something dollars to the bank account. You're going as a young person for the bank to tell you, oh, you wasn't using this account for a long time. You owe some fees, $140 in fees one time. Whoosh.
Yeah, but you're speaking of a specific case that you familiar with, have the evidence with, or you're generally speaking?
Yes.
Because a lot of the banks
I'm speaking of a specific case that happened just last week.
Okay, because I know a lot of the banks have that policy that I know in a case where somebody was not in the bank account, so we don't need to identify that because other banks where the person had the money there and they were taking out service charge every month from the person account, and luckily the person went to check on something and realized they would have done off, if I could use that word. It's not an English phrase, but they would have done off the person account and leave it bare.
And then they would have tell the person, if you go to use the account and then you owe service fees.
So I think they'd have to try and get that sorted out because it's unfair to me, to persons.
This is what I'm saying. There needs to be a policy, a decision made. You understand? Where you could act some kind of negotiation with the customer. Instead of taking all this money, at least put a one-time fee, a $40 or $30 something. When you restart the account, look, you have to pay $30, $40, whatever, not $140.
Yeah, that's in a bit. Because you see, the reality is not everybody can have, listen to me, most people have the bank account to do transaction, not for savings. So the salary come through and it basically walk right back out, goes to Vinlet, goes to water, goes to flow, goes to whoever else, pay bills, who taking out loan, who taking out, and by the time they finish, really and truly, they have much money in the bank account because the bank account is just for transaction. There are very few people in St. Vincent that have savings. They call it a savings account, but it's really a bank account. Very few people can afford to save. Most people are retired persons, people who have, and they save like that.
As you correctly say, a transaction account.
Yeah, but the fees, I agree with you that they need to relook at the fees in terms of that, because it's hard if you work and you have the account, you're not getting a regular income, and even if you get remittances from overseas, that ain't going to your bank account. And then you get a job and then you find out that because you didn't use the bank account for a year or 2 years, that there's some fee involved, and it's hard.
But on the NDP side, I've been suggesting for a while now, and I hope the party somehow start something more aggressive, more frequent in communities. You don't have to go in no big setup. You go with a little one speaker, two speaker, and stand. Just set up in a corner, whatever permission you have to get to use the speakers in public, and have small community meetings in the communities. I mean,
I'm going to ask you a question.
Members of the party, I mean,
you're not aware that is happening?
I'm aware it's happening in North Windward, for example, but not in...
No, it's happening. Not in every
Right. But it needs to happen.
constituency, and I agree with you that it needs to happen in every constituency. But
Right, and that's the point.
as a party, they are meeting because I know for sure the major have a series of meeting. He had a meeting recently. There's a meeting. There was a meeting in North Windward, as you say, in activities, and there's a meeting scheduled in South Windward on the 23rd. So there's activities, but I'm fully in support of you. Yes, more can be done, and more constituency need to have meetings. So I'm with you on that. But
All I'm saying, you
I'm
don't need
not
to
saying
set up no stage.
we're not
You don't
having
need to set
any.
up no stage, no none. Just two speakers on stand, a microphone for a few speakers to engage the community.
I hear
You
you.
know, that's all I suggest.
All right then, thanks. I'm with you on that. All right. Yeah, so the SED caller is one that, I'm not sure how it's being addressed, but in terms of the banking business, a different thing. Lango, you're so glad to have your money in the bank nowadays because the economy dead and nobody not borrowing in such a sense except the government. The bank looking at the profit figure, full stop. They're not a charity organization. They're not looking at that. Maybe, I mean, they invest, but maybe the credit union may be the better way to go. I don't think they have that kind of cost. And when you go back, they willingly get you back in the system. But you see, there's a cost associated with the longer you have an account and you go back and they say dormant and they say want to reactivate it and they reactivate it. But now you have charges and fees and there's a monthly charge that come out of your account if you're not using it. I don't know. I hear what somebody said. I don't know which bank it was, but they were thinking of imposing a limit to the amount of withdrawals you could do on a weekly basis. I think it is, or monthly. I'm not sure, subject to correction. But there were a fee. So if you're entitled, say, to 2 free withdrawal per week, my figures may not be correct. 2 free withdrawals per week. If you go a third time, you have to pay a $5 charge or something like that. And that was, I guess, to make people use the ATM. I don't know. One of the problems with the ATM, especially the bank that has, in my view, the majority of customers, is that they have taken over a lot of customers from a lot of banks, and the ATM system, and a lot of times can't cope with the withdrawals, especially in the months and Fridays. It's difficult. That is one issue. And and the banking thing, something I can't understand, fail to understand. Long ago you're traveling and you have to buy up a whole load of US and this to travel with to make sure you can do your transactions. And nowadays people don't matter that. You take some money for a contingency, but you walk with a card. Because the banks now have put the card with the chip, so you could use the card overseas in most countries. And when you travel in a lot of these countries, they prefer you to use the card than to pay them by cash. But in St. Vincent, you go to outlet and they're charging you a fee if you pay them by a card. Now, if they're paying by a card, they don't have to, there's no cash transaction to worry about. There's no giving back wrong change or taking back wrong change, if you understand what I mean. There's no need for transportation of the funds to the bank in terms of that security. And it's easier to keep track of the money. Nobody can thief the money out the drop because it's a card you pay by. But they're making it more expensive for you to use the card, and I really don't understand that one. I hope we make the 360. How should I say 180? Good morning, Newtimes.
Good morning, Jennifer.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Heath Stewart.
Good morning, Mr. Stewart.
I talk on two issues. The banking system in St. Vincent and Grenadines, first of all. Banks are supposed to save money and lend money. They're supposed to encourage people to use money to do business. Apparently, they're not lending enough money to charge interest. So they have to charge people for the savings there. Point one. Point two, you still talk on your station about citizen by investment program. I'm one of those people who disagree with the citizen by investment program. When we look at the industrialization by invitation,
You're looking at
and where
what?
that put us,
Repeat the phrase you used. Sorry.
industrialization by invitation.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at where that put us, the country, it's the same.
Which country?
Any country. Industrialization by invitation, you invite the country to come here.
You're saying it's the same as citizenship by investment and it has a negative implication?
No, this is a different subject.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yes, same thing.
Not the same thing. Not the same thing.
Brother man, you're inviting people to come here to establish some business for free. Aren't you doing that?
Yeah, but it's different. I think in terms of the technical use of what you're saying, they're different to some extent. The citizenship by investment is primarily based on an investment, and persons who want the passport of that particular country because it's easier for them to travel based on some of them may come from a country in which their passport access to other countries is limited.
Yes.
Inviting somebody to set up a factory or something like that may not necessarily come with a cost. But go ahead.
It does come with a cost, sir, because it will put our local businesses in competition and out of business also. We can examine what's our business we have in 17 here. We had sugarcane, root, cotton, and bananas, and shipbuilding in Beckwith and New Island. Where are they now? We have our local hotels. Our local hotels. We don't encourage them to develop. Yes, still, we invite other people to come establish hotels here. And we boast about that too.
Yeah, but Stuart, with all due respect, let's look at some of the hotels that they invited. First, if we go out to Diamond, what that one is, Holiday Inn or whatever, that is taking taxpayers' money and also NIS investment to build a hotel and pass it over to somebody else to run.
Who's somebody else?
I don't know, some administrative company or whatever. The CBI, if it was a CBI project, citizenship by investment, the person coming in would have to come up. I think the average now, because the countries that deal with the CBI has come to a agreement, a maximum and a minimum. You may have to pay 250,000 US or 200,000 US to apply for the citizenship by investment. That does not guarantee you getting the passport. That is for the application. If your application is approved, then you may have to say build the same hotel out there off of your own funds, not the government funds, not taxpayers' funds, and you open it. So that's a major difference.
Who owns it? Not foreigners?
Who invest in it will own it.
Yes. So
what's wrong with investment? What's wrong? So the local people can do the same investment. There's nothing wrong with that.
You and I can do the same.
Yeah, if we have the funds, why not?
Don't we have the funds? The Creatives have tons of funds.
Yeah, but they're not going to just lend me. They might lend you. You have to have something, and you have to have a back end.
I remember credit union, sir.
If I'm a member of credit union, yes, I am.
Exactly. We discussed that project with them. Discuss that idea. That's tons of money.
In theory, what you're saying can work in theory, but we know that's not the practical application of such. Because I'm a member of the credit union not going to lend me $50 million and $20 million and $10 million to invest in a hotel. They're not.
Not your loan. We invited somebody down Bookman to invest in Simmons here. One film.
That was not an invitation. That was Bodo. That had corruption in it. All of the hotels I am saying that, you didn't say that. All of the hotels they have down, what they call them, black sand and green sand and white sand and all of those down there, a suspect. Those persons did not pay any money to come in directly to the coffers of the country. If they pay money, it's to somebody. But they were given concessions. The lands were reduced, and they are being given concessions. In the Citizenship by Investment program, the person coming in will have to bring the money with them.
So we don't have money here?
I'm not saying we don't have money, but it's two different things.
If we have money here, sir, why don't our country, our government, encourage us?
Well, I gave you an example yesterday about one issue which they major speak about all the time, Major League, which is quite true. Any investment, and you could go back to people like Baker Biggs, you could go back to even the major cleaning business, he cannot get any work from government.
That's political.
And if I open a cleaning business, I would not get any work from government. That right away, I would have to convince the bank or the institutional enemy that I have enough private sector people to employ me. Plus, these private sector people, when they get the phone call and say, you get bought a work, remember you owe tax, they had to let me go. So the practical application of what's happening in St. Vincent, we have to deal with the reality. People in St. Vincent, every project they have Bookman opening, you have other thing, you have road to fix. The company that spring up, go and see who actually own them. They're not owned by me and you. They're owned by people connected to the government. In some cases, people say government ministers and people fronting for them. See, that's
that
it.
May be true. I don't want that may be true. But we must advocate, sir.
That can't work with this government. What are you saying there? Pipe dream. You need to change the government, and then we could talk about the practical application.
Difference.
Huh? That's your opinion. I'm saying to you, thousands of people in St. Vincent, thousands of people, hundreds of investors in St. Vincent and overseas will see it differently with the new government.
Okay.
I will tell you that.
Okay, me here, does every member of parliament in the government side have to be a minister?
If they have what?
Have to be a minister.
No, you don't have to be a minister.
I heard a prospective parliamentarian, on Monday night says when you get in the parliament and become a minister. You hear that?
Yeah, but
I heard Major himself says when he gets into parliament and he becomes a minister. You hear that?
Yeah, and quite rightly so. Again, let's go to the practical application of what's up. Everybody that run and are elected don't have to be a minister, but you must present to people the country have to run, and you need a cabinet, and you need people with the expertise and the knowledge to run the cabinet and the country. For example, let's call name. You go to the New Democratic Party and they win election. The major must be a minister. What are you going to put him to run Vinlock? No, he has a bigger contribution to there, but there will be other persons who may not be ministers or maybe junior ministers.
I don't mean himself.
You bring in a man like Shallow, a man like Huggins. They have that quality. They must contribute. What are you going to do? Tell them.
Listen, General Sir.
Yes, sir.
The Constitution permits us to employ expertise. Expert expertise.
But you must come with expertise. And you must come with people.
There's
a termination. There's a thing that is used, the DNA. There are people in the party that know, feel, help develop the policies of the party and will be in position to put these policies in place. And that's the problem is the civil service is supposed to work as a mechanism to implement policies. But what we have here is people afraid. And when you become a minister, you become an expert in everything. That will not happen under the New Democratic Party. But you must have somebody at the head. It will not happen. But you must have somebody at the head. You must have somebody in charge of national security who will guide the permanent secretary, who will guide the commissioner of police. That's where the expertise come in.
Guide the commissioner of police, sir. The commissioner of police not responsible to any politician, you know.
If what? Sorry.
The commissioner of police is not responsible to any politician.
He's responsible to the government and the policies of the government. He's not a law unto himself. He can arrest politicians if they break the law. But there must be guidelines. There must be guidelines in terms of your operation.
Right. So, I told Major himself, his job is to go into Parliament and old talk.
And what?
Old talk.
How that come his job? That's a waste of resources.
What resources?
Yeah, it's a waste of resources. Why are you going to send Major in to old talk? He could go on the block and old talk. That's a waste of resources. Yeah. And we have limited, just like how many old talk you know, we have limited resources in terms of human resources, and we have to use all the resources we have. And if when the New Democratic Party take government, they'd have to use their resources. There are resources outside of St. Vincent, people born in St. Vincent, working outside, who can come in to help with the expertise. There are people here who have been sidelined and who can be made to put the expertise to the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So
listen now.
I really don't get
agricultural officer, right? The expert agriculture.
Hello?
The chief agricultural officer. He's the expert agriculture. The chief technical officer is expert on communication works. The chief education officer. The chief medical officer. Can I go any further?
Yeah, they're all experts. I have no problem with that.
Right. They are sources.
But they must have the administration.
They have administration below them.
And above them. They are not elected. There will be, I don't know. No, man, we have to be practical in the application of government. There are people who elected and they come with policies, for example, and maybe the government policy that all persons over 50, all over persons over 60 must get all the medication. And if the government pharmacy don't have it, then they must have a card that they could go to another pharmacy and get it, and that money is paid by the government. That could be a policy. Then it's for the administrator people to make sure that policy is implemented, not for the politician now to come every day.
Wait a minute. Who developed that policy?
Those are elected. Those who because they bring in policy to people.
Brother man, I wish I can see a person discussing you.
Yeah, I wish, because I know you have some views, but I think a practical application, and if I may be excused, I think you forgive me if I go wrong, but I think your view is need to be a little more positive in terms of expectations and hope.
I don't doubt it, sir.
Right,
I'm saying this country never developed unless we allow the experts.
And the experts will be able to function. If we talk now about climate change, nobody who is an expert, a technocrat, will call in and give a contribution. You know why? They're afraid. We have to change that.
Your friend afraid?
Huh?
Your friend afraid?
If my friend afraid?
Uh-huh.
Who friend? I'm not sure who you're talking about.
The friend who knows about climate change?
I say all technocrats would be afraid to call here because they know if they're going to get a job still. This is unfortunate.
Man, a job?
This is your tax contribution. We could go on all day, but as I said to you,
Bye.
all right, so call me back after the election. Give us 6 months. And if you don't see any change, call back.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was Mr. Stewart. But as I say, things could happen. Things will happen. We just need one of the things. Okay, so let me use myself to avoid anything. NDP win. But as Minister of Communication and Works. But ain't nothing but construction in any great detail. He's not an engineer. He don't know about road work. But that don't mean he can't be there. Once he have people with the know-how below him and he listen to them and go based on what they're saying, then his role is an administrative role to make sure that these things are implemented. But what we have here is that when these guys who are in government now, they come export. They suddenly come export on health. They come export on construction and everything else. They come export and finance. No, the system was never intended to be that way. You are the administrator. You have policies. This is the policy of my government. This is what we want to implement. You're guided by the technocrats and the experts in the different field, and you put the policies in place. That's how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to come export because you get elected. Because half of them who get elected don't know they from the elbow. I want to play this for you. A situation of what exactly we're talking about and why we have to make that change. All right? So I'm going to give you this one. Let me think it. Make sure I plug in what's need to be plugged in. Okay, getting that organized there. Okay, let me take this call quickly before I go into that. Because I think on my own today. Good morning, Newtimes.
Good morning, Major here.
Hey, Major, how you doing? I thought you was otherwise engaged, but all right, thanks.
So I got taken away from it, and I'm glad I got taken away because I got a chance to listen to you, my old school teacher. So, there's teacher and teacher. Mr. Shaw taught me geography in grammar school, I think,
Okay.
But I think he's at the stage now that he's conflating a number of issues, which are relevant, but he has to structure them and package them properly, Clearly, Mr. Short is one who has made significant contributions to civility on the ground, and probably still is, and is a fairly significant investor in our country, and we need more Hugh Shorts.
Sure.
But I think my brother now is getting a little confused with a few points. Let's start with the industrialization by invitation that you spoke about. That's a very old economic model going all the way back to a distinguished economist of the region, Arthur Lewis, in which the recommendation was posited that one of the ways that these Caribbean countries can develop themselves is to invite people in to establish industries. It is called an industrialization by invitation. And the attraction for that is meant that people got certain tax exemptions, tax holidays, and certain other privileges. And much of that still obtains today in the Caribbean, where a number of people can bring factories in. San Juan is a case in point. It's not an industrialization by invitation. But when you come, you don't pay tax on X, Y, and Z. You understand?
We had the tennis racket issue down Camden Park. I think they had it when they call the industrializations here.
Several of those,
Yes.
That's one economic form of development for the region. It's not the only form. There's also what they call the import substitution model. The import substitution model is what has companies like the flour mills, the galvanized factory, the beer factory. It basically says, let us allow these small islands to set up factories to do things, to produce things that normally would have been imported, and then have the right to export them and not face any competition from anyone else. So they end up with a privileged situation. We have companies like that, the flour mills, the beer and galvanized, as I said, import substitution models. And those have the various economic debates around them. But that is far removed from the conversation, and you probably properly explained it and defended it. Decisions by investment program, which is also another model. Decisions by investment program comes off what we call a sovereign wealth management fund. That's the principle there, you know. And sovereign wealth management means that if a country has something which provides it with an advantage of any kind, it can use that advantage to help its own development. So a case in point would be the Arab countries, sovereign wealth management. They have a lot of oil, and they use the oil and the surplus to do certain things. A country must have its nearness or its proximity to the market of the United States of America, Canada, Europe, and that may be used in a particular kind of way. It may be the fact that we speak English. That could be an advantage. So normally a country can have what you call economic advantage. They have good soil, good weather, good climate, good this, good that, and that allows certain things to happen. But you can also create an advantage to the country through legal mechanism. That's what we tried to do when we had the offshore financial sector, which basically said that here we have the English legal system, and so if you invest here, you'll be protected by a form of law that has international appeal processes. That here we have literate people in various skills and so forth, and here we have people who have good competence and not too expensive. So there's an advantage to set up business here, and we can keep a secret. But over a period of time, pressure was applied for us to get rid of that as a form of industry, a kind of bullion. So there are various forms of economic things that we talk about, and Mr. Stewart comes facing all of those. And then he's speaking as well to a next aspect of development, that we have a Westminster system of government, which basically says you have elections and you choose who you want. But the system also recognizes that could be flawed, that choosing who you want may not allow the best people in the country to become to the parliament. And in order to do that, you develop a parliamentary system which has two levels. In our case, we have it in one level, one house. But in that form, you allow people to be elected as speakers. Sorry, not speakers, as senators. And you may allow a certain number of senators to become government ministers. Julian Francis is a classic case in point. He was appointed a senator and became a minister for all his life. So in the existing government, two of the senators can become ministers. That's a classic case of which people who did not get elected also get ministries. That's what he's speaking about. But you can't have a country in which, and this is where his big constitution came now. It's the relationship between the elected members and the civil servants that you spoke about. And you did it very well about. That's who forms policy. Policy is not the prerogative of any single person, like the ministers of government only, or the executive members of government. It is expected that if you are minister of government and you're a policy maker, you consult with your civil servant, technical advisors to form and fashion your policy. But ultimately, they have to give way to what the elected member of the government wants. And, you can have back and forth in that regard. But they are the ones who, in the end, remain, whether governments come and where governments go, to make sure that the policy that was last put in place remains until somebody else changes it. But nobody has a monopoly like this. Not politicians, nor civil servants. And I simply hope that you will have enough sense to realize that the consultative process ultimately gives you a good outcome. And you work that to the best that you can. The last point that he made, and which I think you handled extremely well, is how societies evolve over a period of time. The practices, and you use the word practical. This is a government that has been very vindictive, very punitive, very anti-private sector, especially the local private sector. And your example is a rich one, Bigger Bigs, Marcus the Freitas, yours truly, and others. Because the government holds a view that only if you support them, you can live, you can eat the food, you can survive and do business in the Grenadines. You may find yourself with the best business idea in the world.
True.
You have your economists, you have your accountants, you have your human resource people, your engineers, reviewed what you're going to do. You take it before the bank, and everything tick, 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 in perfect order. But the one sin there you may have is that you don't support the government. No, a bank manager can't ask you that or ought not to ask you that. But when all of the interviews finish and you leave in the bank, you might say, oh, but we don't support. Or alternatively, but we hear you don't support. And we don't believe that them things you're going to make, we're going to depend on the government buying them on government projects. That will humbug you from realizing what you have put in their paper, so we ain't think we're going to lend you the money because we're going to be risking our own money. That's the point you're making. So Brother Stewart has to understand all these dynamics. And it's for that said reason why it comes back to the point to have people who are in government who knows the A from the elbow, who understand all of those ramifications of social, economic, political decision making to run a country, but ultimately have an open mind between public and private sector initiatives, individual rights, and so on and so forth. So we're saying in the New Democratic Party, we have that skill set, a multi-talented pool of people under good leadership. Unfortunately, I would say it for us, it's not boastful. In the case of for a number of us, we are not asking to be elected to Parliament on the basis of what we can do or what we will do, although that promise has to be there always. But many of us can go before the elections and say, elect me because of what I have done.
You have a record.
Yes, if I'm presenting myself to the people. I was saying over the last so many years I've been in public service and private service. These are the things that I have done. Judge me by that. Don't wait till I get into office to say, if you think Major could do this, if Major could do that. The same may apply to Mr. Cummins. It may apply to Noel Dixon, who was a public servant. It may apply to Teach, Andrew John, because he's been a teacher for many years and in many different fields. It may apply to Israel Bruce because he had a lot of experience in youth work and so forth. Or Siobhan John, or many of us, or Bramble, who was an ambassador and a senior public servant. So a lot of us have a track record of successful, voluntary, professional, and other contributions which can stand the test of time. And people can put us in a scale and decide whether we want it or not want it. And I'm saying at this time, under the leadership of Dr. Friday, and on the basis of the historical record of the Democratic Party, our chances are exceedingly good to be the favorite party. In fact, the evidence of 2020 says that the vast majority of people in Simmons believe that the New Democratic Party will do a better job. And we have to try and enhance that the next time we go and focus on constituencies so that we find ourselves into government and to deliver those services to the people of Simmons and the Grenadines. So I just thought I would share that with you.
No, I appreciate that.
As I arrived out to the funeral with cemetery in name block 2000. So that's also one of the big reasons why I'm not where you think I should be.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to give out more information than that.
Yes,
But I'm going here because I have funeral today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And that's how the life is for the next 5 days. And then I go to my private walk tonight at 9:30 and finish about 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow morning walking. So these things are not better roses that people talk about.
I consider this on the air. Remember, I tell you, you have to get rest too, eh?
Yes, I try to get some rest, but
No, not try. Put it on the spot publicly. You have to get some rest too.
Yes, if I ain't try, I might be rested.
Exactly. Yeah, but we try to get some rest. I know you're moving, and you're moving hard, and in the night you're gone again, but you get some rest too, boss.
I water the wise is enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thanks for your assistance and clarification.
So, but you did well. It actually didn't need my assistance. I thought I just compliment.
No, well, reinforcement is always good.
Reinforcement. You don't have a team without a center back.
Exactly.
that will get Chelsea problems in any center back.
We should have beat Arsenal over the weekend. I wanted to call Brother Hahn just to call and sake, but I was denied the opportunity. But it's okay.
Yeah, both of you are my friends. So could only see you all one at the time. I tell you once about to be idea back. You know what I mean?
All right, Major. Thanks. All right.
All right, but I'm getting out the vehicle now, so I want to hear.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. Right, so that was Major the Honorable Sinclair Leacock, also expanding on the discussion I had there. Somebody say, but you have real patience. But no, I think the discussion, I see somebody saying something is is wrong with the station. That's the only person I see complaining. I don't know if anybody else have any issue with the station. Let us know. But I think everything is up and running according to what I'm seeing here. All right, so 10 to 12. I remember I have two things to play for you. I'll bring them back after the lunch hour deliberately. We'll do that also. If you want to weigh in quickly on this discussion, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I will move on. But I just, it's important that a lot of us have forgotten over the 23 years of how the system was supposed to run or is supposed to run, because this government have made it into a political one man or and the copybooks system. For example, in the past, you want a scholarship, you go to Service Commission, you apply, or they put out, okay, we have X amount of scholarships. They put it out, you apply, you go to the interview, and the Service Commission board, well, they always have some bias, but without any major bias, will then decide who go the best candidates. Now it's a different system. You go to the PM, and he will have a say. Let me put it that way. Don't want to say he decide who get it next thing you assume me. I ain't have no money. But he has a say in who get it and who not, who don't get it. Or a promise here and a promise there. And yes, that has it also. I won't say no, it have it plus also, but that is how it is. When they pass over the Constitution to the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines, and we see that issue now in America to some extent, there are things in the Constitution that are there, and the good English people, being gentlemen in their case, put things in there that they assume will always be like that. And I put, for example, the Director of Public Prosecution, it is assumed that that person will be somebody of integrity, above political interference, don't care who is in government or not, they're going by the law. If this is wrong, it is wrong. If this is right, it is right. Nobody can influence them. If a minister of government do something wrong and they get the case filed and they commit a criminal offense, we send and we lock them up. We ain't care if they're minister of government. So things like the DPP office, the Commissioner of Police, and Mr. Stewart to that he run based on directives to some extent, but not in a majority, because he is the expert. But there will be national security policies, right? But he is the expert on policing. He didn't get promoted because he used to drive this man, or he and this man is friend, or he have a secret for him. He came up to the ranks, he tried and he tested. So when the police say, let us do this, do that, they do it based on policing, and not because somebody call them and tell them go lock up boat, or tell them block the road from boat, or make sure they don't demonstrate in the town. No. They look at the law, they weigh the security aspect of it, and they say, yes, this demonstration will not be a problem, we allow it. Or we have intel that say people going to bomb up the demonstration, or they're going to light fire to buildings, in which case we have credible intel, we have to close it down. The Director of Audit, same thing. The NIS board, same thing. No interference from government. And that is how the government may have a policy, but the day-to-day running of the decisions, for example, investment decision will be purely up to the board. That is how it is. Honorable Adam Eustace said to Sir James, no, you can't get NIS money for do that. So James said, well, boy, thank you. He said, that's how it is, that's how it is. So these things are supposed to work as is. And if everybody function as they're supposed to, accountant general, everybody, society will run good. The politicians will come, they'll have their policies, and they will go. But the administrative part in terms of the civil servants will remain intact. We don't have that now. We have people who are permanent secretary afraid to make decisions. There are people who are afraid to give you an interview. People who are afraid to hire people. Enough situations where people name went up for certain things. And they scratch them off. And when inquiries were made, they sent to the minister, well, I thought because this person is that person, you don't want the name off. And in one case, the minister said, well, you can't answer that. So they have the plus and the minuses in it. If some will have that victimization, people, they talk about people driving past and taking you off a road, walking, all this kind of thing. So, good morning, Newtimes.
Good morning, Bert.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah, what you were saying is so true. You know, when you
Wait, so forgive my bad manners, but I have to jump in. Your business, or should I say Land's business, or both your business, is a case in point.
yeah, I mean, that is what I was calling in
But
on
go right
to
ahead
start.
because that's a good example. I just slipped me.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I mean, we were victimized so much so because in so many different areas, and when you go now to do something at a government department, the workers are afraid to deal with our stuff. It's like, oh wait, this is Lance on my phone. This, let me see if I can get approval. If I can get the okay, you tell the difference when they're dealing with our documents now. People are afraid to deal with us because we are marked as, NEP, and we are marked as that it's known the government, the ULP, is against us. So it's let me tell you, we are fighting a battle, but we are survivors, and we are not going to give up because so many times they did so many things to us. They pulled down our business, they closed down our farm, they have our vehicles and our money seized at the customs and
I hope Mr. Stewart is listening,
they have all those things. They have crippled us basically because they have all our money
And,
tied up.
and I'm going to be positive. When you were supporting the government, you didn't have any problems, right?
No,
None at all.
we didn't have any problems
Okay.
because we are independent people and decide that we could say when wrong is wrong and right is right, and all the problems started coming upon us. So that is why a lot of people in St. Vincent are living in fear because when you speak out, you are victimized, and not everybody can deal with the level of victimization that we have been leveled out. I mean, if it wasn't, I tell people, if it wasn't for God, me and Lance won't be here because we have to constantly ask God for strength, physically, emotionally, mentally, and financially, because it is a struggle and a battle daily because they come at different angles. Even when my daughter who stayed at home made the sacrifice to study so hard, I have trouble getting her monies every year. So it's every angle because she got a scholarship. So they poke, and they poke.
Just before she I'm looking for a different word. She qualified for a scholarship.
Yes, she qualified.
Right. So when you say she got it, I don't want anybody feel they give her it. She
No,
qualified for
because
it.
I remember when my name came up to be a candidate. I remember somebody in Facebook said, I am ungrateful because my daughter gets a scholarship from the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I was like, my daughter walked for that scholarship. And as you say, but she qualified more
Exactly.
than a lot. She was fourth in line for that scholarship. And they are saying that I am ungrateful. She, I tell you, I could probably be on the radio for all day if you're just talking about my personal business because it's a lot. It's a lot, and that is unfortunate. The government is anti-private sector. That's what Brother Leacock said a while ago. Anti-private sector, and we cannot be independent, and we cannot voice our opinions. If we see something wrong, we have to shut up.
And let me be. I use the word practical because in another phase of my training, there is what we call the theory, and there's the practical application of the theory. And I say this for in one case, for example, I use this where a police may see somebody smoking a spliff, and that's another issue by itself. And instead of arresting them, may take it away and throw it away or something. But the police, the law say, well, they could arrest them. I don't know how much the quantity or whatever, but you may decide it don't make sense locking up this person, coming back to take them all the way up by a police station to carry them courts, and it's just not practical. It don't want it, right? So I say that in terms of when we talk about the practical application. But if I'm a bank manager and you came to me for a loan and your business involve some aspect of government, I may be skeptical. And you can't blame me because I have a obligation to the bank to make sure the investment is right. But the fact that I'm putting in, which is your political affiliation, should never have been a factor in the first place. But in reality, it is now a factor. We can't get away from that.
It is sad. And it's going from bad to worse. And then somebody say, what's up?
What's up? You think the government, you think any bank or institution can lend me money to bid for a government contract? Let me say, for cleaning and compete against my friend. Yes, my friend. Union man. What your name gone for me? You don't call your name. I go this, Noel. And figure I stand a chance again, you work? No. They're going to say, but no, we can't give you that money there because there's Noel monopoly.
It's highly unlikely that you will get
exactly. But that should have never been a factor. But it is a factor now.
It is a factor, and it is the sad reality of how we are moving forward in Stevenson and the Grenadines, and we are struggling. There are the few house slaves and the lapdogs who are surviving, but the masses in Stevenson and the Grenadines, and even people who you think have money, they're struggling. We are struggling because Stevenson and the Grenadines, the economy is bad. Don't get fooled. Our economy is terrible. People have to wait long and hard to get the money from government. Our persons who even I know sometimes, but sometimes just give any people contract, I want to say that. I know of an NDP person, but they have to wait long and hard
to get the money.
Yes, sometimes to get the money from the government. And that is another way of suffering them. They give them the contract, they know they have to put in the money, and they get the work done, and all 3 years after, they get a cent. So if you think you're giving an NDP person a job, and look, we give NDP, we give this contractor, we give that person a job, but where is the money? We are being used. But I know we're on this topic, and I really want to mention, I heard you highlighted somebody talked about the Holiday Inn. I want us to remember, as Vincent Sean, the Holiday Inn is our money, NIS money. Why we have to now suffer, we have to pay more money at NIS. Why we can't get our pension at the age when we ought to have been getting it. Remember that, Vincent Sean.
And something else, and I'm going to say this, everybody may not agree with me, But a lot of these institutions have educated persons who know the job,
Yes,
But the question is, especially the NIS, they have some good people in there.
of
The
course.
question is, are they being allowed to do the job?
They're not.
That's the question.
They have been instructed to do certain things.
That's the question.
They have been instructed. I
So,
know in a particular department, this guy told me it goes against my morals and principle, but I want my job. This is how we are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I hear you.
That is how we are. But I want to mention, I know you're going on the break, but I want to mention some points I want to talk about pretty quickly. I heard on Hot 97 this morning, the port, the CEO
Yeah,
and
all them. They make any wrongs because they were on some other stations
they were
also.
on other stations. But
Yeah.
I was so appalled when I heard the chairman say, "Oh, Sunday was a holiday, so we couldn't work on
Yeah.
Sunday." Where,
And
what country, what
but
year are we in? We
I don't
are
know
a
which port
backward
closed on a Sunday.
country.
Must
They
be only
walk.
our port.
Listen, they just walk every day. I know, and they what you call it, when Christmas time they don't walk.
Yeah.
So what is he saying? They couldn't start to fix the boat until Monday because Sunday is a holiday. Sunday is not a holiday. And it is an emergency. They did not think it was important enough to get that boat or that boat fixed. It's not until they realize on the Monday morning, people like Lano, who who is friends with the government, felt it in his pocket where he could call in with such emotion on Monday because they messed up and they messed up people's pockets.
It's two things that I have heard them make any wrongs. That is not totally true. One, that Beryl is
Poor
the
Beryl.
cause
Poor
of
Beryl.
why the wharf is not usable. Beryl is not the cause. Beryl was the last straw that broke the camel
Yes,
back.
poor
Had they
Beryl.
been doing repairs and maintenance of the wharf, Beryl would have come. There would have been damage, yes, maybe, but
Hmm.
damage that could have been repaired. But they leave it to neglect. So when Beryl come, Beryl meet a weakened structure that
Exactly.
lack care and attention, and Beryl was the last straw.
But they I was speaking to somebody from Port and they said there is part of the dock that it was repaired
That
and this is where the cement cargo boats come in. So why the cargo boat could not
because they
use
need
it?
justification for the second point that was given. The guy, I don't know which one was the header, and I heard him on another station saying, "Thank God for Ralph that Ralph started the
Yes,
port." He
that
keeps
is
saying that
Mark.
on every station he go.
Mark
Thank
said that.
God for Ralph. He
I
ain't
heard him
thanking
say that.
the NDP for having the cruise ship terminal available.
Exactly. He
He
should
ain't
have
saying that.
definitely thanked God for the
He
NDP for
never said
putting
if
it.
those people had constantly repaired the present wharf, that things would have been. No, he thanking them for
No.
billing for mortgaging our children.
Yeah. They
What a country.
they messed up and they somebody need to be um should be dealt with because of that. They messed up big time.
I hear you.
Yes, they definitely messed up. And then again, I heard them talk about the Attorney General. Well, something
Well,
going on with the
I'm
AG.
gonna play that back after I come from the break. I had to start this morning. I haven't played it yet, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna play
because
that.
something going on. Something isn't right. So he needs to be checked out
Yeah,
because
no,
that don't make
it's
sense
called
to me.
power and
Power.
authority. Power and authority.
Power gone to his head, and it's unfortunate because I knew him before, and he was a humble guy. But unfortunately, what
But
an
I know him, and
insult!
and people like I get along with a lot of these guys. I get along good with them.
Yeah,
And
because
you
you
see,
can't be
it's two different
small-minded like
kettle.
them,
It's two kettle of fish.
Yeah,
So when they're in the normal habitat, maybe they're normal, but when they reach in the power zone, like it's a different person
yeah,
altogether.
boy. It's just
Mm.
unfortunate that power have to turn
Mhm.
people
A different
into
person.
devils, or so wicked. But then my last point before I go, so I could take a break, is East St. George with the flooding. I was passing on Sunday and saw this devastation, especially by the police station there. It was really something else. And to see the representative, Camelo, did a post and said, I think he spoke about it yesterday, he did a post and he basically, he's saying that we are fools. He is promoting, quick to the rescue. I got a truck. I got a tractor, and I removed the debris. But you and Velox was saying this all the time. You were saying, remove the debris, remove the debris. This is going to be a problem, especially you. And then this guy sits and does nothing until the problem comes, and then he runs away.
And I don't want to prolong because I go get vexed again. And take a picture of his muddy shoe. And hug up one of the people and persons who suffer damage. Well, the parents suffer damage and grinning. What is there to grin about? Had you?
It is an insult to us as
and this we say climate change and can you stop the rain? Just clear the gut. If you had cleared the bridge, climate change or no climate change would have minimized maybe by 90% the flooding.
And is the road work that's going on there for no explanation to the people in Eastern George. That road work is going on. Nobody's saying anything. If something run out, I don't know if it's money, I heard materials run out. And the Fair Hall Road, trees,
the 3 years at the election now.
No, Vincent says, wake up, vote NDP, put an end to all this stress we are under. Suffering, neglect, insult. We gotta do better. We deserve better.
Definitely.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you very much. Right. So that was my phone. Got a little extended period, but sometimes we do that. All right. So we're gonna take the break. When I come back, you'll allow me. I want to play that extract from another program this morning to give you an idea of these guys, so to speak.
Bonady Supermarket in Kingstown, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices. At Bonady Supermarket number 2, located at Upper Middle Street, we are proud to serve you. We are second to none. Call us at 457-1616. We at Bonady Supermarket number 2 will always be here for you. Bonady Supermarket, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General, and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Christmas is here. Can I have this?
We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you want.
More gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, win weekly prices up to $10,000 in cash. Sign up for a post bundle or a broadband plan.
We Christmas in with free groceries from Flow. Plus, a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmasing.
More gifts with Flow.
Get dinner and candles alight, popcorn for your movie night. Once and get it right, it's that good. We've got what you're looking for, all the brands you love, and we'll get everything at Massy Stores. Massy Stores is where you wanna be. We take care of you like family. We do all that we could to treat you like we should. It's that good, it's that good, that good. When you shop at Massy Stores, that good.
Massy Stores, Our family serving your family.
What time it is?
Christmas time. Christmas time.
Surely, Christmas is a time of healing. And what better time it is for cleaning? So this Christmas, VinceClean is here to help with dusting, wiping, bathrooms and bedrooms, kitchen, dining, in fact, for all kinds of floor, new and old. Call now and book early for all your Christmas cleaning. It's VinceClean, VinceClean, VinceClean. Telephone 431-1360, 492-0586 or 4571649 and have a VinceClean Christmas.
I say we know it's Christmas time. Christmas time. Christmas time.
Lewis Pharmacy. We specialize in friendly service with a personal, professional touch. Hence, we take pride in offering patient counseling on all prescription and over-the-counter products. We welcome inquiries on prescription drugs, vitamins, herbal preparation, fitness nutritional products, cough, cold, allergy, and all other health care products. For the convenience of our patients and surrounding community, we are situated uptown opposite the bus stop at Juicy Building. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Lewis Pharmacy.
Beryl, an early hurricane of unprecedented intensity, is fresh in our memory. The International Panel on Climate Change predicts for 2024 and beyond increased severity of weather and hurricanes due to global warming. Be smart, plan ahead. We can take steps ourselves to minimize loss and suffering from these threats. At Lanes, we have the necessary products, flashlights, water tanks, generators, water pumps, and more that you should have to provide you with safety and comfort. Whether building anew or reinforcing existing structures, Lanes can provide both product and specialty consultation advice at our Home Vision department. Protect your family and protect your home. Lanes, 784-456-1411.
Get value for your money. Shop at Richardson Motors. Shop at Richardson Motors Limited and enjoy 3 services in one. Pop into our convenience store for a wide array of snacks, drinks, and toiletries. Visit our mechanic shop for a specialized treatment for your brakes, exhaust systems, and wheel alignment at our garage. But there's more. When you shop at Richardson Motors, get a free oil change service, clean, high-quality fuel, or shop from a wide range of automotive parts and accessories. We are conveniently located along the Arnesville Main Road. Drive on up. Reliability, convenience, and variety. Richardson Motors is your #1 stop.
Air filters, oil filters, fuel filters, disc pads and brake shoes, clutch disc, pressure plates, rotor plates, engine parts, fan belts, timing belts, oil seals, spark plugs, radiators, radiator hoses, water pumps, universal joints, suspension parts, KYB Japanese shocks for Toyota, Nissan, and Suzuki, tie rods, rack ends, ball joints. You can also get accessories, cleaning supplies, polishes, titanium tint, black tint, Valvoline motor oils, Toyota and Honda motor oils, transmission fluids, Michelin wiper blades, headlights, corner lights, HID kits, HID bulbs and ballast, LED bulbs, and much, much more can be had at Automax Auto Parts. Automax goes the extra mile and spend the extra dollar to ensure that you get first quality Japanese auto parts. Come see the difference at our showroom opposite the basketball court in Camden Park. Call us at 458-2000 or 529-2070. Visit us on Facebook, Automax Auto Parts. Drive the extra mile to get the best first quality auto parts.
Please note that we open on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
CK Graves and Company is the number one supermarket, 100% intention. The Intention Supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always say by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're number one. CK Graves and Company, and we are Vincent John, a supermarket for you and me.
I passed by a brethren the other day. If you see he plays rat and cockroach racing, mosquito fighting one another for come me in your ears, and the amount of woodlights I see, I had to wonder if them been in the wood with no attack and build the ark. I said, bye, call Flick.
For the eradication of pests, Flick is your answer. Before and after construction of your domestic and commercial buildings, Flick uses environmentally safe chemicals and keep washrooms fresh with the Aroma Odor Control and the FemCare Sanitary Disposal Systems. Call Flick Pest Control today at 457-1857 or click www.flickpestcontrol.com.
Memorial Funeral Home is the first in SVG to offer on-site cremation service. The new and modern crematorium provides a safe way to memorialize your loved ones. Memorial Funeral Home offers a variety of urns in which you can preserve your loved one in a personal way. Cremation can ease the financial burden as it reduces the cost of a standard funeral service by 50%. Caskets can also be rented. Cremation is a necessary option to the overcrowded burial grounds across the country. Their friendly and courteous staff will continue to take care of all your funeral needs, whether you choose to bury or cremate. If your loved ones die abroad, there's no need to worry. Memorial Funeral Home can assist in the transportation of bodies to SVG and from SVG to any part of the world. Memorial Funeral Home services can be accessed at their two locations. In Kingstown in the Russells Building at telephone number 453-2697 and in Mesopotamia at 458-8888. The Memorial Funeral Home, leading the way in modern and affordable services. Call us. We care.
Randy's Supermarket is perfect for all your grocery needs. We have a range of liquor, liqueur, and wines, fresh and quality bread, and our weekly specials will simply amaze you. Conveniently opened 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, and Fridays and Saturdays 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have competitive prices and friendly staff. Randy's Supermarket, located at Lower Bay Street and Terrell Street. Call us at 456-2994. Randy's Supermarket, where shopping is fun.
What's the matter, people? Solidarity. Solidarity. Everybody wants the same thing, don't they? Everybody wants a happy end. They want to see the game on Saturday.
22 minutes after the 12 o'clock hour, 22 minutes after the 12 o'clock hour. You're listening to the Newtimes program for Thursday, the 14th of December. I'm your host today, Clement Bert France. So thanks for joining me on the program as we continue the program. I have some texts, so I want to get them. Somebody say, good morning, Bert. Although everyone has their own opinion, I'm so glad that the major called in to clarify certain issues, raising that discussion with that gentleman. Thank you, Major. Then we have let's see, this one said, but it really showed that those people don't care. The what was destroyed there about the wharf, I think probably that be about 500 feet or less road with a solid base just to be concreted in the bus. Add to that road from, from Valley Road, Valley Graves to the Ponnet is a perfect condition except from just about 100 feet. Just need to connect to the already concrete strip leading towards Villa Beach. Where's the foresight of this government? One vote, Carlos. Now somebody who into that kind of construction before. Okay, so I'm gonna give you excuse me, that extract from this morning program on Hot 97, in which we had a discussion and a gentleman calling giving us a scenario, which, as I said, show the callous nature of the people in this government. And if we put them there, just know we can reach right down to They use that there, you know. They love to say the peasantry. We're going to reach back where we have two set of people in St. Vincent, the elite class and the commoners, working class. And there'll be a clear distinction, just like back in the days when we had kings and emperors and so forth. We're going to reach back to that. So I'm going to give you this one. Let me hear what you think when we finish. All right? So we're going to get that done.
Alrighty then, there you go. 7 o'clock in the morning. Olia. We've been joined by a really good friend of mine. Julian is on the line. I'll come to Julian just now. But a little back up on the story as well. We heard it yesterday with the driving.
A big front end loader, I believe they call it. We'll put up a picture of it in a minute. Was being transported from the Wynwood side, I'm guessing, into the town side, and the driver was later stopped by the Stubbs police.
He was arrested.
Detained.
Detained, right?
And allegedly at the behest of a government official. Right. For what? Well, we have the truck driver on the line. Is Julian?
Julian, my buddy, what's going on?
Give us a full story.
Morning. When we heard of the thing, was it yesterday?
We heard about it yesterday.
Yeah. It sounded like a joke, right? Now we have you on the line. Clear us up. This is a joke, right?
Nah, not a joke, man. Serious thing.
Walk from beginning straight to the end. What happened?
Okay, we coming down. Okay, we had two machines to move for Braxa. We had a boat to offload for stones, right?
Right.
So it come like now is no for no thing.
Right.
So I say, well, okay, it's two big machines, an excavator and a front end loader.
Right.
The excavator will move it first, because it could bypass and go.
Right.
The front end loader, it real high, chopping trees and everything. Them trees need to cut.
Where is it then?
You understand then?
Right.
Okay, so we decide to move the front end loader last.
You're coming from where again, Julian?
We're coming from Georgetown.
Georgetown into
Rabaka. Into Kingston, we're coming with the front end loader.
Right.
Because it wants to go at the hall.
Right.
So we decided to move that one late because there is more time and slowing down and all them things.
Right.
Okay, well apparently like in after Bayaboo Bridge coming down the side, the vehicles behind.
Yep.
I noticed this vehicle blew. So I say, well, I can't let you pass now because the width of the road and things. I say, I go free up when I get wide.
Mm-hmm.
Right, they had to be pulling left and right because the tree and all the trees and then break the machine glass and all them stuff now.
Right.
Okay, we're coming down, the vehicle blowing, the vehicle trying to pass. I said, big man, whosoever you be, may God be with you. You understand then?
All right, Julian, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
We clear all the hills and them in order because I'm going to lay past and next to now, nobody give me no stupid jets coming up them steep hill in order.
Right.
Okay, we come up. When I reach by the entrance of the airport, by the bus stop, we have pull aside. And let the traffic pass. This vehicle is black, open back Jeep. Pull up by the side of the truck and watching me. Mm-hmm. So I say, well, you could always go. I mean, really, I can never study you. I have my work to do with. Mm-hmm. The vehicle drive off and stop by the pilot. By the pilot vehicle was piloting me.
Right, the driver, yeah. Ben,
right.
Yes, go on.
He stopped over there. I double checking my chains and everything on the machine now, and I see the vehicle over there like a minute or two. Then after they drive off. So my workers and then we normal double checking our chains and everything before we continue the other journey again.
Right.
Okay, we leave now and we continue driving, going. Come up Stubbs Hill, reach past Rowan and reach on the flat now.
Up to this point, you didn't have any word directly with the driver of the black Jeep.
No. When we reach Stubbs and we're going up and we're going across now. So what I look over now, because normally you have to look ahead to sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I look over now, I see over there pretty.
What do you mean pretty?
Alright, so it's a Christmas tree light up over there.
Oh, the Christmas tree. Okay, Christmas tree.
I see police in highlighter vest, uniform and all them thing over there. So I say, boy, like something happened in the corner, we can't pass.
Accident, roadblock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, then the police with the vehicle in front pass, and that stopped by the side and to the pilot, back in by the police station. So the officer now see to pull over. Park in front, the same said black Jeep. The officer asked him to come out. And come in. I go in the station here, and he come, he say, Julian, I know you. So I say, okay. Then I see go now and bring all my workers them in the yard. He asked me for my license, so I say, why is he charged? If he asked me for my license, I say, why charge? If I you. So I gave my ID card. My workers on him now for the name. They are give them a name. Then he lists Black G, the same Black G now, and reporting our names to person in the G that we don't even know who in the vehicle. So I asked, I said, officer, why is that? You can't name my name plus my worker's name. Vehicle that we don't even sell. I said, where do you planning with that? I said, I stupid in Salabadan. Okay then. He called me say, yeah, I give him the firearm license. He said, I need a firearm. So I mean something exactly where you're locking up for. Oh, we ain't charging you. So where you have me here who will for driving too slow on the road. I said, big man, we're in a
just so if what
type of vehicle they were
what type of vehicle they were carrying could go on the live and we have it up on the screen.
Yeah, big rubber wheels, a big rubber wheel front end loader.
Yeah, there's a massive vehicle.
Massive thing.
Yeah.
So who was in the vehicle?
Well, they say the government, the authority or something. So
who told you that?
Well, I end up I asked somebody else and they say, well, they call the number plate for me. So I say, yes, they say, well, yeah, that is Attorney General. A black.
But was the Attorney General driving or you don't know?
Yeah, he went driving. Because he had to go and report back to you. The police had to go and report back to you and tell him.
My question to you.
But is that the correct chain of command?
But that was gonna that is the correct thing to do. Because if you're saying to me, you're coming down the road at let me just say 20 miles per hour on the truck, because of the fact that you're carrying a machine. What is the charge there really? What we do wrong? You're driving on the wrong side of the road. They make a U-turn, they make a skid turn. What do?
Well, I don't know much how you blow and I stop up promptly for him. I can't stop even if I stop free pass. How you can pass?
So okay. So that they gave the Attorney General or whoever's in the black Jeep your IDs. Then what?
Then he tell me, I must come and move the truck. So these people could come outside, tell them straight up. I say, big man, in our fairness, I am moving on. Because I don't know who in the black Jeep is supposed to tell me who in the black Jeep.
Correct.
And let me walk out they say right here now. Then he come and tell me I'm firearm license, take me firearm and tell me go inside and sit down on the bench and
so then you're arrested then?
Yeah, well, he tell me sit up on the bench, I get arrested. So I asked him, why is he charged? So I say, well, yes, let me call my lawyer. No, we ain't charging you. So I say, we have me here for boy.
If you ain't charging me.
Why you detaining me?
Why I saying down there? I've done the check.
All right, so you sat on the bench and then what?
Well, you sat on the bench and you talk. And somebody have me saying, wait, so I said, back some machine I wait, I can, you know. I said, they wait on the machine because they have a boat to go and offload. I say, hold up, me time, just, Mr. Breeze, I fight for what I say, can't mean for them stripping this, brother, man, I have money to make.
And this is around what time all this is happening now?
Well, it reached out after 10 minutes, 11 game.
You're joking. So, did you ever actually speak to the driver?
Driver for who?
Of the black Jeep? No.
No, the man squeezed past in front of me, truck and go.
So he never actually addressed you directly?
No.
How weird is that, man? So what's the state of it now? Have you been charged? Were you released without charge?
We're talking right now. Me say, hey, what charge.
So they just let you go. They gave back your money, had to leave.
Yeah.
And they were aware that you were moving government equipment?
You say you tell them?
Big man, I tell them, and they can watch for the trailer, it mark up a big government number plate. G.
How mad is that?
That's surprising. But let me ask. That's
So
surprising.
how you feel about all this, Julian?
Man, you just take your office space to make you feel high. And you can't be doing them things there. And I feel that's just stupidness, brother. Because always one in this country.
You thought so?
You can't try use your office space to try to get wrong.
You think that was abuse of power?
Yeah, correct is right.
But you know, even though if it was whoever they say driving the pickup, the officers themselves should have better sense than this.
You can't take my name and my walk and say one to somebody.
Supposed to have more sense than this.
What speed would you like the vehicle to drive at?
If I am an officer, if you come to me and tell me Julian driving too slow with an excavator and a front end loader on a truck, brother, we have no discussion. What do you want him to do?
Say, with all due respect, sir,
go away, go.
I think you should go home.
Go, take a shot of Hennessy or something, man. Just relax.
Nah, I'll be driving.
How could you tell me police going to come out a road, flag down a trailer with two big machine or with a big machine and tell you you're driving too slow?
Do you think you'll hear from the driver? You think you'll get an apology?
Well, I don't think so in this country.
I believe you might.
Well, if he give me an apology, it could be better for him too, though.
Yeah, of course.
You ain't getting that.
No, I believe so.
I believe so.
Well, the best bet survive.
My bet go survive. My bet go survive. You ain't getting that better. That and a pink donkey eating ice cream is what you ain't going to see.
Julian, thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, man. I hope it happen again.
Yeah, me too.
I hope so too. You know, listen, man.
Imagine you doing government business.
That's craziness.
But you're doing it safely.
But we spoke about some.
If you speed and the thing falls off and destroys,
it's a different,
blocks the road.
It's a different story.
It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing.
You take your license.
You take your time. You do it at night when you're going to inconvenience
you're
the least number of people.
Still the worst thing. What do you want?
What do you want?
But in order this,
that's ignorance, man.
Ignorance. But it's ignorance on the police part. Because when the man driving to say whatever,
but you know already in St. Vincent, man, we need to stop this. Everybody needs to know what their position is. Right? If somebody, a higher official comes to you and asks you to do something which is clearly making no sense,
tell them.
You can just say, you know what,
Chris can't pull up to the police station and ask them to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the officers themselves should say, look,
this isn't making sense.
In my humble opinion,
this is wrong.
Right? The guy's just doing his job. Yes, I know it's a little inconvenient, but sir,
let me keep it.
If I were you, I would go home.
Yeah, keep it moving,
and let the guy do the government work.
Once you come out and you flag down the man and stop him because that man, you have to be a madman.
No, but the police themselves should.
But this is what I'm saying. And me blaming the guy, you know.
This has to come from the commissioner.
Yeah.
Or something. This
me
can't come
the
from
guy, a guy in a pickup.
It can't come from. You can't just stop and say, "Boy, arrest me."
You take my name, you take Jagger name,
for what?
You take Luke name, and then you go to the man in the pickup and say, "This is them." And up to now, me seeing the man in the pickup.
No, but I wouldn't do that. I don't think they should have even done
that. They should not. But this is what I'm saying. So is the police right now at fault?
Well, partially.
When we come back.
Partially.
You absolutely It can change a man who has a heart of gold. Make him cruel, wicked, self-centered and cold. Many men in this land, many organizations fought for freedom and justice throughout the land. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about nobody. Prostituting the island to all and sundry, they peddling my people's right, exploiting, oppressing, less freedom or suffering. I wonder how we survive. Think it over, my friend. Think it over again.
Good morning. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, thanks for holding.
No problem. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, we are.
Yes, I'm the guy that the incident happened to yesterday in Peniston.
You mean with the release supply?
Yes, the materials.
Well, you have to start from the top and tell
So
us
you gotta start.
what's all about.
Yeah. So 2 months ago, right? There was a fellow working with the Unity Labour Party by the name of Jones. He was walking around checking people's house, see who house damage. So he came at my home. I showed him the damage. My house was leaking. He said, he turned to me. He said, "Brent, I'm going to help you." Another week after, I received materials. I didn't get everything. And then 2 days after I get the materials, a contractor came by my home from Vermont, telling me that they sent him. He's the one who's gonna do the roof for me. I said, okay, no problem. 2 days after I went in town and I meet the same contractor in a bus going in town. He turned to me and he said, "Brent, if you can do your own place, do it." I look at him, I say, "Why?" Because he said he's not coming anymore. So it sounds funny to me. So I said, okay, let me go. I go credit union and I draw some money and I hire 3 guys to change it for me. After the guys change the roof, 3 days after, another guy from the Unity Labour Party came to my home telling me that they send him back for my materials. Just send him back for the material.
No, just he identified himself as coming from the party or from the government agency, etc. Or you know him to be? They say he came from the ULP.
Yeah, Roy and Abraham. He came because he take over from the other guy because they get rid of Mr. Jones. Because maybe they realize that Jones helping NDP people as well. So he told me that they send him back for my material. I wouldn't have any materials. Now, yesterday I was home. I see a black pickup pull up at my gate. Mr. Williams, Grenville Williams came out. "Good morning, Brent. We came to you." So what happened now? They came back for the materials. I said, "Look at the roof. You ain't seen the roof before you come in the yard. The material already on my house. We need them. We need the material. You have to give back the material and whatever leave back and all them kind of stuff like that." I said, "This is private property. I need to leave my place." The guy that walking around with Mr. Grenville telling me, "You don't need your vote." I said, "You are here about me. You are here about chemical because you are noise thing for NDP party as well. So you are here about me." And it start on nature. Nature comes from materials. How about that? Nature comes from material to fix his house and his office in Camping Park. I said, "You know about that? Nature, right now, nature out there looking for help to help the people of Simmons and the Grenadines. Right now, looking to see what he can do to help the people. Well, them they're taking the materials, thieving the materials. Them.
Well, we ain't the thief in them. But let me ask a question. What was the reason they gave for wanting to coming back for the material?
I don't know. They said they send them back for the materials because they hate what they hear about it today. They know I'm a strong NDP supporter.
But caller, I don't want to get too deep into your conversation. I just want to make 2 fundamental points. and speaks to this honesty of the Unity Labour Party government. One, Grenville Williams, and I hate to have to do this, is the Attorney General. And in Parliament, he has no privilege to be speaking or participating in debates. He's supposed to be neutral because he is a public servant. Okay? That's the first limited law. Secondly, when it is convenient to this government, all of a sudden, it didn't happen to George Morgan and those people. It's been referred to as a community activist. I've been hearing that language, you know, as a community activist. That's the second limb. And third, them just pass a law like, but if you're in this tech, that tech, or the other tech, you could take party. So I suppose that's supposed to clear the way for people too. The highest privilege of Finland be involved in body politics. And the last of it, he is not an elected member of Parliament. But he has the privilege to be walking about, giving out material reportedly, and coming back with Julian to pick them up. We how nasty and dirty and worthless it will become. In the name of decency and in politics. How nasty, dirty and worthless it will become. That's why I take no prisoners in politics, you know. And that's nonsense. Must stop. Must stop for the part. And if that is the best foot that they put forward, you have to get rid of them. They feel so entrenched, out of place, and arrogant that they could, even when doing wrong, bring the law or other forces on people to make this suffer. And they're doing it all through the constituencies. I haven't had a word yet on the list that I sent to them and gave them in Parliament of these are the people who got damaged to me. They said they don't do it. They operate so. We ain't like that. We ain't like this, like that. We hands clean. And here's the demonstration. Because I believe you. I hope you took pictures, you know.
I think he was live.
No, I was live.
Right. Good.
I get everything on my live, everything on my page.
Yeah. Yes. So you must circulate it to the widest level. Because if this Attorney General of the country reach to win a seat unfairly against Nature Stevens, lying in nature.
And mentioning nature, how nature name
again the conversation.
How nature name come into this?
You have no right to get him back anything.
Notify him, right? And make sure notify him and tell him you're alive.
It's
I have to show his face and say you're alive.
It's worthless.
What you mentioning nature?
It's worthless.
For nature come the material to his house. It's never went the material to his house. Office. The office roof was off. And when you come personally come back to material in my place. Huh? Then telling me in front of people in this village, a lot of people came out, you all don't want my support. I said, yes, because you all help me. You all know my die-hearted NDP. That's why you all ain't going to get it.
I'm glad they have the strength to expose them.
What was the end result?
Well, they went on the phone, look at the hospital ending. They called some kind of police, and then they called Chuck the guy from Afghanistan. I said, moving the materials there. So up to now, no police ain't come, no Chuck.
Place. You have to be a warrant. And
I have cameras on my house also, so my place is secure.
Expose them. Thank you. And you have the support of the leader of the opposition and the Democratic Party. And you have a right to government assistance. They suffer damage.
Yeah.
Emphatically, you know. They said, I sent Augustus Lee. He can ask the Minister of Finance if somebody lost the roof. Put it back on again. You have a right to get, and the Minister of Finance say, yeah. Parliament, you have checked the back. The record of the House will show that they agree that if you got damaged, you help yourself and hold up the Friday just to right to receive material.
I help myself.
And if you did that, and you got back from them, you have a right to it. They said from Parliament, I would for that. It's not the ULP gave these materials. It's the Parliament of St. Vincent and Grenadines approved the monies for that.
You know that black Jeep again. And it just goes to show we have to be careful the kind of persons we put in government. Remember, this man is the same black Jeep that was in discuss, same AG that was mentioned. I haven't heard any release to say it wasn't him or anything like that. So he's supposed to be taking back galvanized and lumber or overseeing the taking back of galvanized and lumber in South Leeward and the involvement of police. And he's supposed to take people ID and driver's license number because he was inconvenient in traffic, so they say. So the guy said, and calling the police again in stubs. Are we for real? Well, hey, I'm sending this one for the AG. This one for you. I think I'm gonna send this one for you. And I'm gonna say something else when I'm done. But they say, as we're a friend now, I think I'm sending this one for you just so you know, you understand how life is. Don't make power change you.
It's a day of feasting and a day of famine, day of sadness and a day of joy. You couldn't see in the day of feasting, life isn't just a little play like toy. So your day arrived when you least expected. You always thought you were well protected, and now you feel like a fish out of water. So now you're wondering what's the matter. Oh, remember you said it couldn't happen to you. Now you're thinking how to start anew. A drowning man will catch it destroy. You had warned, but you wouldn't take heed. Everything in creation must obey a law. It's true in words as it is indeed. You are so puffed up in your bumps and pride. You're exposed, you got none to hide. Yes, you used to look down on the folks beside you. Never did think you would have come down to. Remember I said you got to reap what you sow. Simple truth everybody know. Oh, what do you want a house of exile? Watching you now on your last night. Oh, what do you want a house of exile? Watching you now on your last night.
You know, what do you do in the house of exile? You have to understand that power is only for a time. Don't abuse it. You're not a king. You're not even elected. And those who elected have the same arrogance and the way they treat the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have to be careful. You know, there's two things I observe. Well, there was something important in all of the discussion and what was said, in particular the case with the movement of the heavy duty equipment. The guy said, I don't know how many you pick it up, that he was taking the equipment to Otley Hall to help offload a boat. Then you pick that up, very important. He was taking it to Otley Hall to help offload a boat. And I said, what? Otley Hall? The same useless Otley Hall, the same Otley Hall that they allow to deteriorate, the same cruise ship terminal that they say, look sharp, let it get washed away. Am I hearing right? Is the cruise ship terminal rescue them now? Somebody tell me all of the projects that the New Democratic Party put in place that is government trying to squeeze down, all of those projects are what coming back to save them and stay them straight in the face. So the cruise ship terminal, and from what the gentleman say, he was taking the heavy duty equipment down to the Otley Hall to offload a boat. Otley Hall, a hard right. The same Otley Hall they say, no good, can't use. They're helping to rescue them now, the wharf that they neglected to repair this damage. So are those two projects rescuing them? I heard the head of the port authority and others saying, oh, Beryl, poor Beryl. Beryl, I know you caused some damage, but I'm sorry for you too, boy. Again, some licks. It's like when you know somebody's a thief, anything that thief in the village is that person's fault. So Beryl passed through any damage to anything, whether it's resilience, well, the other thing is Beryl's fault. So they neglected. They did not spend the money. They did not do the repairs to the wharf. So when Beryl come, Beryl make a weakened structure that lack repair and attention. And Beryl, in my book, was the last straw. So Beryl was easy to destroy because you did not do repairs to it. Port Authority, that is a fact. And don't turn around now and tell me, thank God because they're building a wharf down there that going to mortgage our children, and even our dog and cat them too. Have to pay for that. But the cruise ship terminal that you wanted wash away, the cruise ship terminal that you wanted wash away, and the same Otley Hall, from what the guy said, he was taking equipment to Otley Hall to offload a boat, is what turning back now and rescue. A shame and a shame. Trust me. Somebody say, we the people of St. Vincent will overcome one day. Deep in our heart, we do believe we shall overcome someday. All right? I want to say, but this is not the first time these people are using the state machinery like the police to oppress the people in this country. True. You remember when someone has sent a text message to and put 3 dots at the end and he went to the police to file a report saying that those 3 dots mean bullets. Yeah, remember that? Man, agriculture, man, everyone who use text use many dots at the end of some of their messages, but they think because they're in government and the police is only to respond to the request or call. It is what we call put your dog on the people. Election is coming. Let's see how many of them will go down to the market square and cry for the people for forgiveness this time. May God help us. And if you look at the situation with what was his name? Ken's King. Now the people, the taxpayers have to plug out money to pay for that because they abuse their power. And that power we spoke earlier about, the separation of government and so forth. because the police was found guilty of abusing the power. And we know the constant harassment of political activists by this police. And I am saying if the police in many cases were allowed to operate without interference, we won't have that. We won't have this. Good afternoon, Newtimes.
Good afternoon to you both. But this is big deal. But
And you called during for the break time, but go ahead. I'm just telling you.
well,
No, go ahead.
Because I want to win, but you know the reason why, but that used to be one of my biggest pleasure when I used to have bigger trucking working. I used to love to be moving the heavy equipment then, but especially but when I had to do it at night. And I like how the guy said, they had an outrider in front. He wasn't just pulling, we would say twin, just like that. He had an outrider. And but when I have these kind of heavy equipment and the back behind their board, as the guy was saying, and listening to what he was describing, it was a huge front-end loader. And I think I know of this front-end loader that Jesco owns. It's huge. It is so huge, but that when it's carrying it and in the bed, it hangs over. The bucket is so wide that it's even wider than even if you try to drive in one lane. Even the width of it, the width of the machine on top of it is going to take up much more than that lane. And the guy even got so far and said that you can't be driving fast because the height of this thing is so bad, you have to look for trees. And I saw where tree branch broke glass for us already, and machinery. Yes? Even if your glass them and that machinery. So for me, because you know the government don't clean road and maintain road. You have to be driving, watching on the road and look coming ahead and look out for tree branches that can cause severe damage to your equipment. So for me, that mention of that black Jeep again, where that tree sheet seems to own and busy all about up and down St. Vincent. Hauling off people, want to take out people material back from them and want to haul people off the road. It's really overreach, but it's not the first time, but I remember at Rabaka, when I was up there, when they came with a high profile person came up there with a Fortuner, never came out of the Jeep, had his subordinates them come out, take photographs of me blocking road with car and kind of thing. Up till now, here come out the Jeep yet. That's how these high profile guys operate and roll in this country. 2 years after that will happen. Bigger Biggs was kidnapped half of his own land at Rabaka and take away half of our land, holding my deed in our hands. So for me, these are the things that we must go out this election here and vote overwhelming vote. That's the only how we could stop this government here. Because what we vote is a science. Winning an election is a science. And I have just found that out from King Council, and they have to know it. So I'm telling you what, we have to go out and vote overwhelming. That is the kind of science they use. The most high science is our vote. And let me go out and vote because this nonsense need to stop. And unless we don't come out and vote overwhelming, this ain't going to stop in this country. So, both continue on the program. You're doing a wonderful job. Continue to bring the message to the people. Have a wonderful go get the break now, boss. I loving it. What they right there. And I tell the people right now, I am retired to deal with Ralph head on this election. So that is what I've been listening about, getting information. When I get a chance to speak against Ralph. Have a wonderful day, my brother. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you for calling. Okay, so it's 4 minutes after the 1 o'clock, 4 minutes after the time for the break. We're going to take the break and come back. I see somebody say good afternoon, but my husband and I have a large ram goat up yesterday, up on the farm in Rose Hall, and now we went up to look after him this morning, the chain we meet, and do his goats value over $600 each. I think it's 2 large ram goat. And this thief in Pereira, larceny, they call it that in nice word. Thief in a people, animals, and produce. That is the kind of law, not no dog law. That is the kind of law I want to see come to Parliament to increase, double, triple, whatever the fine. So if it's 2 years for thief in a goat, they must quite up to 6 years. And this thing with you plead guilty and peace take off and peace take off, no, it must be a minimum of 6 years. A minimum. We need to do something. See, it is really hard work, and the areas people and cry the animals. And you wait till it done fat and nice and you just take it and go business. No. The New Democratic Party has promised and has policy that will be put in place to ensure that this act of pure larceny disappear. If not disappear, once you get caught, you will feel the full force of the law. You will feel the full, because you must stop thief people thing. You must stop it. And all kind of excuse people make you all do it and people influence. No, stupidness. Can't say the word I use on radio. Stupidness. There must be heavy jail sentence. You thief a bag, 2-3 bag of lime off a man, if you can sell 2 years. Don't tell me the lime the morning what $10, $20. No, 2 years. Go. Stop thief people produce. These people working hard. People had a ram goat and all kind of thing. Y'all just walking in and taking it. That happen. Now because Christmas coming and feel everything is a gift. No. Work hard. There's the opportunity to work hard. You go and work. Or go and ask the people if they could get a piece of this. And stop stealing people produce. All right. Stop thieving people produce. Somebody sent me a thing. They say Camden Park Port this morning. Would like eating out the customs down in Camden Park Port. And then, you know what? When this port, somebody sent a picture there showing that wood lies down in the Camden Park Port. And when this happen, you know who can get blame? Beryl. Or Beryl better make sure none she family pass cross before the November hurricane season end. That cousin, they're going to get blame also. Because that's what they do. Neglect the property of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They don't repair nothing from school buildings to government buildings. I wonder if they're still leaking up what is place name? Service Commission. I wonder if the place still up there, still leaking. I want to know. And I have to come back to a point, you know. Maybe I come after the break. 7 weeks now, I think the agriculture workers that Bruce raised the issue ain't get paid. 7 weeks, 7 fortnights, I mean. I hope they get paid yesterday or sometime. Because my last information, somebody tell me, it's not 5 fortnights, you know, it's 7 fortnights they ain't get paid yet. You ever hear wickedness so? That was done. But anyhow, let me take the break and come back. You see, sometimes I will take the break for cool your head off because this kind of wickedness happening in this country could give people a heart attack. You know, St. Vincent. I saw something the other day where they say the average death rate is 8 for 1,000 around the world. That is the average, 8 for 1,000. You know, St. Vincent is 18 per 1,000. Hard times, pressure, killing people out in this country. We have to get rid of those people in the bus.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General, and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Get dinner and candles alight, popcorn for your movie night. One stop and get it right. It's that good. what you're looking for. All the brands you love and more, get everything at Massy Stores. Massy Stores is where you wanna be. We take care of you like family. We do all that we could to treat you like we should. It's that good, it's that good, that good. When you shop at Massy Stores, that good.
Massy Stores, our family serving your family.
Okay, Max, if I'm going to steal Christmas this year, I'll need a smart TV to keep an eye on the who's, a smartphone to call for backup, cash, and a stove to bake this ham. Seriously, I can get all this for free if I sign up for Flow.
With Christmasing with thousands of gifts, even the Grinch would love. Sign up for a postpaid mobile bundle or high-speed broadband and win big every week. Visit discoverflow.co now.
Lewis Pharmacy. We specialize in friendly service with a personal, professional touch. Hence, we take pride in offering patient counseling on all prescription and over-the-counter products. We welcome inquiries on prescription drugs, vitamins, herbal preparation, fitness nutritional products, cough, cold, allergy, and all other health care products. For the convenience of our patients and surrounding community, we are situated uptown opposite the bus stop at Juicy Building. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Lewis Pharmacy.
Randy's Supermarket is perfect for all your grocery needs. We have a range of liquor, cure, and wines, fresh and quality bread, and our weekly specials will simply amaze you. Conveniently opened 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, and Fridays and Saturdays 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have competitive prices and friendly staff. Randy's Supermarket, located at Lower Bay Street and Terrell Street. Call us at 456-2994. Randy's Supermarket, where shopping is fun.
What time it is? Surely, Christmas is a time of healing. A better time it is for cleaning. So this Christmas, VinciClean is here to help with dusting, wiping, bathrooms and bedrooms, kitchen, dining, in fact, for all kinds of floor, new and old. Call now and book early for all your Christmas cleaning. It's VinciClean, VinciClean, VinciClean. Telephone 431-1360, 492-0586 or 4571649, and have a VinciClean Christmas.
I say we know it's Christmas time. Christmas time.
Introducing Kitty Care Plus Speaker Actin Syrup and Mint Globin Liquid from Maya Organics PVT Limited. Kitty Care Plus is an optimum nutrient for growing children. It promotes physical growth and enhances intellectual performance. Speaker Actin Syrup has a synergistic combination of cyproheptadine and B vitamins that help to improve appetite and body weight. And Mint Globin Liquid helps to optimize growth and builds immunity. Get yours today. Kitty Care Plus, Beaker Actin Syrup, and Mim Globin Liquid. Available at leading supermarkets and pharmacies. Agent Bowman's Pharmacy. Call 456-2235.
Get value for your money. Shop at Richardson Motors. Shop at Richardson Motors Limited and enjoy 3 services in one. Hop into our convenience store for a wide array of snacks, drinks, and toiletries. Visit our mechanic shop for specialized treatment for your brakes, exhaust systems, and wheel alignment at our garage. But there's more. When you shop at Richardson Motors, get a free oil change service, clean, high-quality fuel, or shop from a wide range of automotive parts and accessories. We are conveniently located along the Arnesville Main Road. Drive on up. Reliability, convenience, and variety. Richardson Motors is your #1 stop.
CK Graves and Company is the #1 supermarket. 100% Intention. The Intention Supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always save by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're number one. Hey, Grays and Company, and we are Vincent John's, a supermarket for you and me.
Since 2012, we have provided reliable, professional dialysis services in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are now proud to offer you new solutions for your health problems. Each new solution is being delivered to you with the same high degree of care and professionalism. Also use the best technology in the delivery of our services. So, does your doctor need a precise view of what's happening inside your body? Let us perform an ultrasound for you. Ladies, if it's your breasts, then choose our mammography service. For all issues related to men and women's health any stage in your life, our team can perform the necessary investigations to put your mind at ease and recommend solutions for your problems. If it's to see within your chest or check for broken bones and fractures, then use our state-of-the-art U-arm X-ray service. For you aging men and women, we can now check your bone density, which will reduce any complications that may arise with overall bone, osteoporosis, or arthritis. Health Solutions will provide answers and results in a timely, accurate manner in the most comfortable environment, while you are taken care of by well-trained and experienced staff. Please call us today at 451-2836 or 434-3170, or visit us online at healthsolutionssvg.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Health Solutions, where we are providing solutions in SVG with care.
We would like to say that Captain Bligh XO Aged Rum is the best rum in the world. And now we can. Voted the world's best rum at the World Rum Awards 2014, Captain Bligh XO Aged Rum. World class in a glass.
Bonnedy Supermarket in Kingstown, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices. At Bonnedy Supermarket number 2, located at Upper Middle Street, we are proud to serve you. We are second to none. Call us at 457-1616. We at Bonnedy Supermarket number 2 will always be here for you. Bonnedy Supermarket, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices.
Power rules the world today. Something Saturday, 1 o'clock. Are we listening to the Newtimes program for Thursday, the 14th of November? I'm your host today, Clemmer Burt Francois. Thanks for joining me on the program. There's something else just to remind you. Let me remind you again that the 7th of December, 7 p.m. at the Sunset Shores Hotel will be the President Dinner and Award Ceremony. Contribution, it's a fundraising event, so contribution $250. Those of you tickets are available at the Secretariat, all right? So don't forget that the 7th of December, it's the final fundraising and major fundraising event for the New Democratic Party in terms of those activities. 7 o'clock. Sunset Shows, the 7th of December, tickets available, all right? And also reminding you the 23rd of this month, which is a Saturday, we should have a village meeting at Peruvian Vale, that is in South Windward. More information will come on that. You don't want to miss that. North Windward, Young Dems, they're having a barbecue, fish, chicken, and pork on the 29th, Friday the 29th of this month, starting from 11 in the morning, right? You music and everything else. Just walk the money fundraising event again also, so you can look forward to that. Somebody said good afternoon about some Nigerians living in an apartment in New Montrose. So they're stealing my bananas down in my land and my neighbor mangoes. And when you see them and speak to them about it, they said they didn't see anybody to ask them, so they took them. Believe me, next time I'll call the police because they too barefaced. They say, hey, must ask us, all right? So ask in advance just in case when you go ahead and see them. Ask in advance. I wanna based on some information, I'm gonna play two tune. And as I say, based on information, I'm gonna play them. So a clear message, all right? Clear message. Remember the numbers for the program. People say don't call them out because I just assume. Okay, 784-456-5967. That's the landline. 718-734-5615. That's the Magic Jack. And the WhatsApp number is 784-498-3802. 784-498-3802. And I'm playing this one for me. As I say myself, there is no such word. All right, this one for myself. Listen to this. In other words, I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid to speak. I ain't afraid to talk. All right? So you're wasting your time.
And they are catching hell. People think are doing well just because I sing a few calypso. But that is my misery. Calypso don't make money, but most of them don't know that I have my axe to grind, just like any other man, existing in poverty and this giant ghetto land. But I intend to hang on. Tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice. I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me. No way, they go have to beat me. They go have to eat me, or the heads go roll. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land. Nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me, lad. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Me mama must yam. Me papa must yam. Me woman must yam. Me picky must yam. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me, lad. Nobody go run me. Life ain't much for us to choose. Some we win and some we lose. But sometimes life is so confusing. I had a lot of friends one time whom I used to wine and dine and gave them bread when they need it. Now most of them against me, take me, make the enemy, simply because I am not what they all want me to be. And with the political views I can't agree, but tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice, I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me, LG. No way, they gonna have to beat me, they gonna have to eat me, or the heads go roll. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land. Nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Me mama must yam. Me papa must yam. Me woman must yam. Me pick me must yam. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Let go. Well, days I at CBC, work at Halcyon for free, when they went bankrupt and had no money. Because of my tolerance, they gave me the assurance the job belongs to me. But here's some people high in our society, they don't like my calypso because they can't control me, so they plan to kick out my ass. Tell them, party no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice, I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me shorty. No way, all you have to beat me, all you have to bury me, more than 6 feet and more. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land. Nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Me mama, me papa must yam.
All right, so nobody can run me. And don't tell me not to talk and anything. I speaking, and I ain't afraid to speak. All right, so just remember that. I'm not afraid to speak. And the second song I want to play now because I send in a clear message. I don't care. And you know this one I like very much. So I'm going to give you this one.
Sasko. Hey, yo, man. Yo, Sasko. We're rolling this time. When I see my friends become my enemy, I have to far. No near them, no link, no bar. Because I know dirty I can't sweep with room. They are like the trees they can't bloom. And they shall slowly fade away. And I know dirty I can't wash with soap. The meditation we supply group. And they shall slowly fade away. But I'm an assassin, me no woman. Nothing I go like that tune ya. Why? Batman stuck in a them head like a tomb. Them hurt like tree stripe. One a night made by puma. Them double lip and ice, double lip and puma. Start go you not to them. I say you got a phone. Get the visa you fly out. Them a break when you drop out them. Sit down like calculate by in and you back out them. Say them are your friend, but them heart mama vote for me. Say, well just the heart can sweep with flow. Good and never. They are like the trees we can't blow. Good and never. They shall surely fade away. And I know just the heart can wash with soap. And there is no bad mind antidote. They shall slowly fade away. Then look along we tell them say we stop fight. Get son of the done for them a come and act like them are your brother, them good for the backbite. Watch them kill it pretty soon them a go show them colors like a stoplight. Them call it on a frostbite. Them hearts so dirty want to discover with a scotch bride. Them need a whole river till the water if you wash off them heart. That could hold it on the bar at the standpipe. I know dirty heart can't sweep with room. Good and never. They are like the trees they can't bloom. Good and never. They shall surely fade away. And I know dirty heart.
So, you know, should not be afraid to speak. And we all in St. Vincent again is, hey, I'm on born, you know. Nobody gonna run me, as they say. And sometimes you lose friends. But you gotta do the right thing. Jesus lost friends too, you know. The right thing. You gotta do the right thing sometimes. And when you see wrong is wrong, you gotta call it wrong. You can't be calling wrong right because of who, or for favors, or because you expect a favor. Not so life go. Please. Good afternoon, Newtimes. This one is, I don't know. Wait, let me see something there. Good afternoon, Newtimes.
Good afternoon. Please start again.
Yes, sir.
I thank Major for his elaboration, but I don't agree with him fully.
Well, we don't always agree.
All right. Thank you very much. All right?
All right, thanks.
All right, take care.
All
Bye.
right, thanks. We don't always agree on everything. I don't know anybody ever agree on everything. Oh, even the disciples that have an argument. We don't always agree on everything. That's the nature of the loveliness, I should say, of the world. We could agree, we could disagree. But at the end of the day, we all have to live together. And we all not to the same mind. But when we see wrong, wrong. That's all we have to agree on. Wrong is wrong and right is right. And we don't call wrong right and right wrong simply because of who involved. We don't do it that way. All right? Let's not do it that way. All right. So 28 minutes after the 1 o'clock hour. Let's see. Good afternoon, Newtimes.
Brother Bob,
Good afternoon.
don't forget to play that thing with Mr. Jumutamas. You have some very
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to squeeze it in today again. We'll see. All right.
Play with people who hear happen to the end.
I hear you.
Okay, brother.
All right. Thanks. All right, Wes. Have a nice weekend.
You too, buddy.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I promised to pay the entire thing for Jama. What's it? 29 after... do I have time? So I just wanted to take time out to play those two tunes. Send a clear message. Send a clear message. Let's see. All right. We'll probably try and see if I could squeeze in, get back in that the entire presentation on Citizen by Investment by Joe. Let's see. What did I do with that now? All right, clean talk. Let me get back this while I try and sort some stuff out here. All right.
Hey, yo, man.
Yo, Sasko.
We're rolling this time.
When I see my friends become my enemy, I have to far.
No one here, them will not go.
No far. Cause I know dirty heart can't sweep with room. They are like the trees that can't bloom, and they can slowly fade away. And I know dirty heart can't wash with soap. The meditation piece of like rope, and they shall slowly fade away.
But I'm a sucker, me no go man. Enough of them not go like that tune ya. Why? Batman stuck in a them head like a tumor. Them bird like tree stripe, one a night made by Puma. Them that believe police, not only by rumor. Start go you not to them, I say you got a phone. Get the visa, you fly out them, I pray for you drop out them. Sit down like calculate by in and you back out them. Say them are your friend, but them heart mama about to make say.
Well, dirty heart can't sweep with road.
Good and never.
They are like the trees they can't bloom.
Good and never.
They shall surely fade away.
All right, time 1:31. So we don't have any calls at the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna concede and go ahead and give you that presentation in its entirety from Mr. Jomo Thomas in terms of the Citizenship by Investment Program. And as they are not editing, so we say bad about anything, we're still leaving it there. All right, so I'm gonna give you that. That should take us up to closing time. So let's shoot. Let's see if we have that.
Go and come back in, please. Yeah. Okay, send him a message on your phone or something. All right, let's.
Of St. Thomas, seeing is believing. And so we're seeing God's work happening here. And we can say, it is happening, ladies and gentlemen. And everything will come and show to each and your friend. First, if you're making money, only if enough. Last them way is like the sheep. Back and show that they're going to have a better tomorrow.
Okay, Council, are you hearing us better now?
I am hearing you clearly. I'm
okay,
not sure if you are hearing me.
Yes, very good. Good morning to you. We missed you yesterday morning. Happy to have you back.
Good morning, Bing. Good morning, Shady. Most of all, good morning to your listeners. I missed being here yesterday as well. I had some difficulties and I just could not get in. And I have tried to make 7:45 a feature of my morning life. And when I missed it yesterday, I was quite disappointed. But here I am. These things happen. So here goes. I had something else that I wanted to talk about, but I might as well weigh in on the topic which you were talking about this morning, which happens to do with CBI. It's interesting that you are talking about this morning, because yesterday I went to a funeral for Venerable Vincentian Tobagonian lawyer Willis Fredericks, who lived to the ripe age of 100. And I met a gentleman who told me that he is involved with the CBI program, and he's anticipating some good things personally, professionally for him. And he may well be hoping to do even better if there was to be a change in administration and St. Vincent may go the route as the current opposition seem to say that they want to go in a direction of CBI, citizenship by investment. Now, as we know, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, headed by PM Ralph Gonsalves, has been steadfast over its 23 years in office as regards to the issue of what they vulgarly call selling Vincentian passports. I do recall one time Prime Minister Gonsalves making the point, well, if we start selling passports, we would end up where a lot of the people are coming from China, we may end up where we are a minority population in St. Vincent as relates to passports. The argument has not had a lot of credence because we know a place like St. Kitts, with probably half our population size, has been selling passports since 1984, and we have not seen such a development in St. Kitts or any other country in the Caribbean where passports have been sold. Another fundamentally important point to make is that the Caribbean is not the only place where people have citizenship by investment. And that's why I said that the notion about selling passport is quite vulgar. Most countries in Europe have citizenship by investment program. We may be surprised to know that the United States of America have citizenship by investment program. In fact, when I practiced in the United States, and I don't know what the numbers are now, but when I practiced in the United States and were more alive to these issues, if you were to a foreigner and you were prepared to invest $1 million in some kind of business venture in the United States, for which you intended to employ 10 or more persons, the United States was prepared to grant you citizenship. That's a fact. But you have had a lot of pushback from big countries, where anytime smaller countries are trying to find a way that would bring them into a space where they can generate their own funds rather than depend on grant and aid, there is a monumental pushback. We saw it with the financial sector here in St. Vincent in the 70s and 80s and 90s. We are seeing it with the commercial registry in BVI, where the BVI had one of the largest commercial registries in the world, and there was a conflict between the BVI government, particularly the one headed by Andrew Foy, who ended up being ensnared in corruption practices and drug dealing, and then he was jailed in the United States. But one of the conflicts there was the commercial registry in BVI had become so huge, and the government, the local government in BVI was making a lot of money, and the British wanted to get some of that money. So the Foy administration crashed a lot of that investment. This commercial registry still in BVI, but many persons have gone to Turks and Caicos and to Cayman Islands, which are still British colonies. So there's always that pushback. There's this argument about a race to the bottom, that because these countries in the region want the money so badly, some of them may sell for X amount and others may sell for X, Y. For example, one is selling at $1, the other is selling to undercut and to generate even more money. They hope they may sell for 90 cents. So there's that race to the bottom. But countries, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Grenada, I think in May or June, the Grenadian government had announced that it had raised more than $500 million with the Citizenship by Investment program. And that was mid-year. I don't know how much they have raised since. There's also the issue relating to attracting unsavory people by selling your passports. And quite frankly, for the number of passports that have been sold across the region, we have not had that corresponding explosion in the announcement that unsavory, corrupt persons had bought our passport and then went on to do bad things. We haven't heard it in Grenada. We haven't heard it in Dominica. We have not heard it in St. Kitts. And even where there are instances of that, it is not overwhelming to stop the process. In fact, we haven't heard it any place, not in the United States, not in Europe, any place. So the question then becomes, what should be the position that countries take? I know we talk about independence and if you are selling your passport, but the argument does not have a lot of force, because when we look at our budget each year, which I think this year was $2.6 billion, in terms of the money that we are spending, most of it was either grant or aid. Grant, aid, or loans. And if there's an avenue where we can get an independent source to do development, and you heard Skerritt, Prime Minister Skerritt, talking about what that CBI program was able to do. I mean, we could be leery-eyed and say, well, all right, you know, this is an attack on our independence. But, you know, there was a book written by I think Mr. Gentleman by the name of Roberts many years ago. I remember when I was in grad school, called Sovereignty at Bay, in which he was talking about the way in which the international situation is currently aligned. Countries are increasingly, including powerful countries, increasingly losing their independence, their sovereignty, their right to act and do things. But even in St. Vincent, where we have been vociferously opposed, at least officially, the official propaganda, is that we have demonstrated, the leadership of this country, Prime Minister Gonzalez has demonstrated a proclivity, an inclination to attract persons who have turned out to be quite unsavory. We had David Ames, a Bokoman Resort. We had Mr. Watt. He ended up running a Ponzi scheme, and that was what the British High Court said. We had Weiss. Well, Ames ended up being jailed in England. We had Mr. Weiss, who ended up being jailed in California. We have the people who are said to be building the we have the guys down at Peter's Hope, whose company has been declared bankrupt in Canada.
What about Nano? Did he get on as well? Nano?
Excuse me? Well, there was Nano. Well, there's Nano, whose enterprise folded up at the emergence of the ULP administration, and I think he was on the run for some time. I don't know if any of them had ever been confronted with legal difficulties and end up in jail. But I'm saying, even where we don't have citizenship by investment as an official policy, we have done it, and we have done it in a way and attracted persons who ripped off our state. Ames being Exhibit A. By the time he left, he had owed workers, he had owed CWSA, he had owed Vinlec. So the argument does not hold up in any real way. So yes, Citizenship by investment may not be sustainable. Citizenship by investment may not be, in terms of returns, may not be what it was in the 1980s and 90s when Sin-Kitts and the others got in. But certainly, if in 2024, Grenada at midterm could say it has made more than $500 million generated through citizenship by investment, and if Dominica is saying, look, we are building an airport and at the end of it, we may not owe a single cent because of citizenship by investment, I think that the opposition New Democratic Party cannot be faulted for saying that they want to check into that as a basis for trying to generate much needed funds for the accelerated advancement of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I mean, we know we have an array of problems that are causing real issues. The dilapidated state of our public, our schools, our public institutions, the roads, the clinics, everything is in chronic disrepair. So if we can get an additional set of money, I'm not going to be one who should say that as a matter of principle, we shouldn't do it. I remember some time ago, this question was raised and I articulated my views in much the same way. And it was said that I was on record of opposing citizenship by investment. And I dared the person, I challenged the person to bring any kind of documentation where I had been publicly opposed to citizenship by investment. I haven't seen it yet, I haven't heard it. So essentially that's my take. To the extent that I remember, well, let me say this last point in closing. I remember when the ULP got into power in 2001, I wrote a column in which I said that the ULP should scour the earth, including, I think I said then, including the gates of hell, to see if we can generate the kind of money, the kind of investment, the kind of resources that would help us to do a lot that needs to be done in St. I maintain that view. I don't want us to get to sell our soul to the devil, but I want us to do what we need to do or what we can do to generate funds that would redound to the benefit of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So essentially, that's my position. It's always good when you hear Skerrit or other leaders talk about this, because the arguments which our government has made, particularly in light of what it has gone ahead and do with aims in Musty, who ripped off our workers and left, and he too had the Prime Minister said that he had made an application for citizenship, but he didn't get it. But who knows? Because you have to take these pronouncements from official down with a chain of salt, with a pound of salt. So their record and who they're bringing in have not been very good, and we just have to do what we need to do with full transparency and accountability that we generate kind of funds. So that's my take, Bing.
All right, thank you. We
all right, so at the end of the program, let me thank each and everyone for being part of the program today, including robust discussions with other persons. Thank the Major for calling in. Let me wish you all a lovely weekend, because I won't be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sister Margaret should be in, or I girl, not too sure, but we'll see how that play off. Have yourself a lovely weekend. Bless. And each one, just be careful out there and let's get this job done. All right.
Enough of them not go like that junior. Why? Batman stuck in the maid like a tumor. Them bird like tree stripe, one a night made by Puma. Them double lip and I double lip and rumor. Start go you not to them, I say you work a code. Get the visa, you fly out them, I pray for you drop out them. Sit down and calculate by in and you back out them. Say them are your friend, but them heart mama out for me. Say,
well, just the heart can sweep with fruit.
Good and never.
They are like the trees we can't bloom. And they shall show it fade away. And I know.
So don't forget, we have the President Dinner and Award. That would be on the 7th of December. You can look forward to that. Also on the 23rd, we should have a village meeting in Puvian Vale, South Windward. Don't forget the 29th of November, Young Dems out North Windward, Young Dems, they having barbecue at the office. All right, so keep those dates in mind.
Need a whole reservoir of jelly water to wash off the mouth. That could do only on the back one at the standby.
I know, dirty heart can sweep.
Bonnedy Supermarket in Kingstown, serving the nation with quality service and excellent prices. At Bonnedy Supermarket number 2, located at Upper Middle